Okay, for this first video, we are going to be doing just some basic formulas like adding cells together and finding percentage and stuff like that. So you're going to be in the reading tab. And what this page is it is a reading test and it's focusing on different skill sets throughout. So your very first column is your skill, and across it'll tell you what the skill set is. And right below that it says questions. So question number 1 would be words in context, question 2 literal, and so forth. Over here, we're going to start bunching them together in just a minute, but first I want to find our total points correct and get our percentages. All right, so the numbers that you're looking at, the way that I have the spreadsheet set up is that for every question number, if they get that question correct, I just give them a 1. If they get that question incorrect, I give them a 0. And then when I add across, I can tell what their score is going to be. So what we want to do is we want to add all of the questions together to find out how many points or how many questions each student gets correct. So to do that, right here in the column B, total points correct, I'm going to click in my first cell. I'm going to come here and I'm going to click my sum sign. When I do that, you're going to see that it highlights all of the cells that it's trying to capture to add together. So once you see that, you can just hit return. And 18 is the total points that Tana got correct on this test. Now, if I was clicking in here and was trying to figure out where that number came from, I can look up here in my formula bar and it'll tell me that I'm looking at B4 and through, that colon means through, so B4 through U4. So I know I'm capturing from B4 all the way over. So that's how you can add multiple rows or multiple cells together that are all attached. Now, if you look down here at Taylor, I actually left one of the questions blank. I was either going too fast or she didn't answer it or something like that. So I left it blank. If I were to try and add these cells together, when I hit my sum sign, it is only going to take this set of cells right here. And the reason why is because when you are doing a sum of multiple cells, it's going to capture everything that is connected. So there's a break in my numbers right here. It's only going to capture this right here. So that's just an FYI, just so you know whenever you're doing formulas. Of course, that's not going to be an accurate score. So I'm going to go and I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go in there and delete that. And now I'm back to where I just have one cell. So remember from part 1 in Excel, I can copy this formula all the way down just by getting to my black cross right here and dragging this down, and it'll give me the total for each and every student's test. So that is how you add multiple sums that are connected straight together. I'm going to go ahead and go in here and give Miss Taylor a score, and I'm going to say that she missed that question, and then we'll add appropriately right there. So that is how you add multiple cells together. Now, next to that, I have my overall score. I want to give this a percentage. So I'm going to click in here. I'm going to do equal, hit your equal sign, and then I'm going to click in the cell right next to it where I have my total points correct. I want to divide that by the total number of questions that are on the test, 20. Hit enter. Gives me a decimal point, 0.9. I'm going to click back in here. I'm going to copy this formula all the way down. So now I've got everyone's points in there. I'm going to come up here to my number. Nope, right here. I'm just going to give it a percent sign, and it turns everything into percents for me. So now I have the total points correct for each student for the test, and then I have turned each of those points into percentage. What did they actually make on their test? Okay, so that's how you do the percentages. Now, to add individual cells together. So remember I told you that up in the first column it gives you the skill set that each question is looking at. So over here what we've done is I've put each of the skills together, and I know that for grammar there's 5 questions. I know I have to have 4 out of the 5 correct to have a proficient score for that skill set. So I need to go through here and find all of my grammar questions. So kind of like we did with our overall score, click in the cell, click your equal sign, and then we're going to go through and we're going to find the grammar. So question 6 is a grammar score. So I'm going to click in that cell and then hit plus, go find your next grammar, hit plus. My next grammar is right here, question 12. And this is kind of tedious, but you only have to do it one time. And that's the beauty of the formatting this. I'm going to click in the last one. So my 19 is my last grammar question. I'm not going to hit plus or anything. I'm just going to hit return. And now it's going to add in each of those cells. Again, you can come up here to the formula bar and you can see that I was supposed to have 5 questions. I know that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells that I'm adding together. So now we'll do the same thing with our inference equal sign. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to find inferencing. So there's my first one. Plus, find my next one. Plus, and right next to it, and enter. Again, it said 3 out of 3, so now I'm looking for 3 questions. I found all 3 of them. And I'm just going to do the same thing for each one of these really quick. So I'm going to go to my literal, add in each one of those. And there's my last one. Do my morphology, equal sign. If you don't do your equal sign, it's not going to add anything together. You can click all you want and it's going to just keep taking you back to the different cells, but it's not going to, the equal sign is what actually tells it that you're trying to give it a function to do in that cell. So just a heads up on that. There's 4 questions there. And finally, words in context. Equal sign, then your plus. All right, so now I've got in each one of these cells, I can click in the cell, I can look in my formula bar and look and see exactly where each one of these come from. If I click in the formula bar, it will actually go in and highlight each one of the cells that it's adding together, so I can double check and make sure, yes, each one of those is grammar. To get out of that, just hit escape in the top left, and I can do that for each one. Now, that was tedious to do for the very first one, but again, all you have to do is highlight over and copy down, and now you've got that formula in every one of your cells that you need it in. So that is a quick overview on how you're just going to do basic formulas. Remember, if you're going to add cells that are connecting, you're going to click in the box that you want your total to be in. You're going to click on the blue sum sign, click on that and it'll add them together. If you want to do individual cells, you click in where you want your total at. You start with equal and then you click on each individual cell and hit return.